Hello, everyone. So we got another tea or, oh, not tea talk, coffee talk in this case. But let's see. So I got a few topics that you suggested on Instagram. So if you don't follow me yet, please go to my page and connect with me. I really love to see who you are. And yeah. So one of you asked me to talk about relationships and trust, and there were actually a few of you who were asking about relationships. So it's a very, I feel like right now, also star sign wise and moon wise, we're very much into relationships at the moment. And very much finding balance in relationship as well, and I experienced that in my own life as well. And let's see, let's talk about trust in relationship. What they say, that trust is, it's hard to gain and easily to break. Trust is very fragile as well. But if you have like a big buffer of trust within a relationship, it's easier to go through the difficult times. And I think no one can tell you how you can do a relationship. You can have your own terms in relationships. I mean, as long as it's healthy and stuff like that. But I feel like for everyone, and with everyone, you have a different relationship. So there are different rules and different terms in that relationship. But for example, when you have like a love connection, and for some people, for example, it's okay and it's not that bad to have an open relationship. But when you can't do that, or when I don't know, you just don't want that, it's important to be on the same level and to actually voice your needs in that. If you're not able to do that, that's okay. And if you want to have an open relationship, both are okay. You don't have to feel ashamed or different, or for whatever reason. It's important to acknowledge your own desires and to voice them, and to voice them in a way that it's a safe space for both of you, I think. What else can I say about trust in relationships? Often what we do in relationships, actually, is we project a lot. Some folks in family constellation therapy actually say that there's not really like a romantic view in relationships there. Well, not for everyone, of course, but some of the people say in that theory, or in that modality, that people come together as a way to heal their wounds, to fix what they didn't get, or at their childhood, or to fix what feels broken inside of them. So it's not really like a fairy tale coming together of soulmates. And maybe that's a harsh pill to swallow, but in some cases it's better to think like that, instead of seeing the relationship as a fairy tale, because then you're still projecting that dream idea of a relationship onto your partner, and that's actually not love. That's really hard for people to because we are not perfect. We have these we have our problems. We do have our insecurities, and I believe I believe we always project, well, not always, but people tend to project something onto their partner, and not really see them for who they are. We see what we want to see, or we see our trauma, or we see, you know. And what can also happen is that, you know, if you lack the trust in a relationship, or you're not you're not easily trusting people, or you have issues with trusting people, if that is a repeating pattern, the question is, what are you doing, or what are you seeing that you are repeating from your childhood, or from something that feels broken inside of you, which is an illusion, by the way. You know, we are not broken, but it can feel like that, and we can give it so much space in our head that that becomes true. But you know, the term trauma bonding comes to my mind when I talk about this. And you know, I think there's a lot of colleagues that talk about this, that that talk about this trauma bonding. It's very interesting also to look up like around attachment styles and stuff like that. But what I also sometimes feel is, and especially for people in the personal development area, and people who are coaches and you know, healers and stuff like that, that it becomes like the whole trauma thing, and like, oh, what is going on here, what is like the whole conceptualization and the whole rationalizing of what and of what the psychology can be. It's sometimes also a form of, you know, bypassing the real issue. It's a distraction sometimes. And that's not for all of you, but that's something I feel for some of you. And that's what sometimes I've experienced in my own life as well. That I can be so distracted by all the theories, that I put so much weight on that I'm actually not seeing the real problem. Because it's easier to lose yourself, you know, in theories, and oh my God, it's this, no, it's that, oh. But sometimes, and not always, but sometimes it's a way of not looking at the real issue, because it's a distraction. You know, you look at the distraction because you don't want to look at that thing over there that is way more scarier than all the concepts you can talk about. Because here are the feelings that you don't want to feel. The raw feelings that are still trapped in your body, but that you don't want to look at. And it's ironic, because that's actually also the delusion that is a scary thing. But we make it scary. You know, we have so many judgments about trauma, about, you know, what is good, what is right, how many emotions I can carry, that emotions just carry, you know, we don't talk about them. So there's a whole world of judgments in the world. You know, there's a whole world of judgments around relationships, around emotions, and how to deal with emotions. And sometimes we think that we can't deal with it, which is an illusion. But when you have thought that pattern over and over and over, it becomes true. You know, it becomes true that that is a scary thing to look at. And we do that as a whole, as a collective, you know, as a as a collective consciousness. We kind of do that. So just pay attention to what you are not looking at. And you know, there's also something around patterns attract patterns. So for some of you, you may feel like you attract like narcissistic people into your life. Maybe without even noticing, maybe you're conscious of it, like maybe you're not. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, okay, let me feel what I should say about that. You know, the thing with narcissism is that it attracts to a hole inside of us. And it's not to shame you for that or something like that, but if you have like the perfect vision of like of a kid that is, you know, that has the perfect, which doesn't exist by the way, but theoretically, when you have like this child who you know has the perfect parents, perfect conditioning, their life goes smoothly, you know, it never exists, but whatever, let's just theoretically think about that, then you would have developed the sensitivity to deal with the signs early on. And if we haven't developed that in our childhood, then sometimes what happens, and it's really not to judge you, because I do feel like, you know, this pattern is all, it's just a way for you to see what's really going on and to open your eyes of what you are truly worth, of changing that, of it's an opportunity, it's always an opportunity to grow deeper and fonder and more grounded into yourself and how worthy you actually are. And let me feel whatever I can say about this as well. Yeah, so it's a wound inside of you. And if you work, you know, if you're in that situation, there are some, you know, practical steps that you can do. I'm not an expert in that, but I know there are like some practical steps you can do to, you know, come out of that situation. But after that, there's a trajectory, there's a period of healing, of remembering yourself, of, you know, having space for yourself, basically. And yeah, yeah. And the healing, you know, what I feel like for some of you, it's in your heart. So can we do a little healing on that? The modality I use is normally theta healing. So I just kind of send some healing into your heart, some loving energy, healing energy into there, to your big, beautiful heart. And that you know what it feels like to have an opening of new possibilities and love, and new pathways to emerge for you. All right, so I think we're good for now. And yeah, please connect with me on Instagram. I would really love that. I would really love to see you there. It's at daphnesimons.love, and my other channel is just at Daphne Simons, Daphne Simons, whatever dialect, whatever accent you want to use. All right, so have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I wish you all the best.